So today we're gonna kind of review how to conjugate the verbs, the ER verbs, and then we'll learn also how to make questions in French. Okay, so I want to review first on the present tense. So in English, there's 3 ways you can write a present tense. In French, there's only one way. And this is a good example here. You have ils étudient la physique. Ils étudient la physique. In English, there are 3 ways you can say this. Okay, so the present tense in French can be translated in different ways in English. The English equivalent depends on the context. So for example, ils étudient la physique. In English, we can say they study physics, right? They study physics. They study physics. Or you can also say they are studying physics. They are studying physics. Or you can say they do study physics. Now, there's 3 ways to say it in English, but there's only one way to say it in French. Ils étudient la physique. So be careful not to translate these expressions in English to French by adding other verbs in there, like ils sont étudiés la physique. That doesn't make sense. Okay. So this is something, a review I wanted to clarify in here. Also, I want to kind of review in here some other things, which is, I'm trying to learn how this works, so excuse me a little bit. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to scoop up in here. Verb manger, commencer have an I when it's nous mangeons. So you add an I to the nous mangeons because otherwise the sound would be nous mangons. Same thing for nous voyageons. You add an I to the nous form. And the same thing for mangeons. You add an I in here when it's only for the nous. Okay? You only do that for any verb that ends in G-R. For example, voyager, manger, partager are some examples where you must add an I for the nous. Also for commencer, nous commençons, there's a CCD for the nous. So nous commençons is a good example that you have in your notes. Okay? Alright, so now I want to show you how to make questions in French. So I'm going to scoop up a little bit in here. Alright, forming questions in French. And I'm sorry, it's the page are kind of like over each other right now, but I'll try to make my best so you guys can follow my examples that are on page right now, on page 4. How to make questions in French. Okay, that's our topic for today. Okay, just making questions. You have learned how to make affirmative and declarative sentences in French. Okay, you also learn how to make questions today and make negative statements next class. Okay. The simplest way, okay, to make questions is to use est-ce que. Okay, you put that in front of the statement. Okay, so so you place est-ce que directly before a statement. If the next word begins with a vowel sound, then use est-ce que and you put apostrophe in here. Okay, est-ce que, and we learn how to say these things. Est-ce que je peux aller à la toilette? Est-ce que je peux aller à mon casier? Okay, so do you speak French? So we use est-ce que, right? So est-ce que would look like this, right? Est-ce que, oops, oh, that's not going to be good. I want to write in sentence, okay? Do you speak est-ce que? Okay. Do you speak French? So how you say you speak French? Est-ce que tu parles français? est-ce que tu parles français? So you place the est-ce que in front of the declarative statement. Tu parles français, which means you speak French. Okay? Make sure you conjugate your verbs in here. Okay? So est-ce que tu parles français is do you speak French? That's the second section in here. I'm sorry, I skipped the first one. We'll come back to that later. Okay? And does he like to draw? Again, when you use est-ce que he likes to draw. Sorry, I forgot the S in here. Does he like? No, doesn't. Okay, does he like to draw? Est-ce que, what's he? Il, what's like? Aime? Est-ce qu'il aime? What's to draw? Dessiner. Let me rewrite that. That's not very good, is it? Let me clean up the page so you guys can see better. Okay. Does he like to draw? Est-ce qu'il aime? Est-ce qu'il aime? And again, we're going to contract here. Est-ce qu'il aime? Dessiner. Does he like to draw? Notice I use the est-ce que in here. Okay. Est-ce que to make my question. Okay. So please write these two examples down. I missed the first part in here. Okay. You can also make a question. Okay. Just by using intonation. Okay. By rising intonation when speaking or setting a question. Make mark at the end. So you put a question mark at the end and you change your intonation, you raise your intonation to make it to make it like a making question. It's a very informal way to make questions. For example, you like French class and you would say Tu aimes la classe de français? Oops. So in here, you put the question mark to make it on the written part. When writing, you put a question mark. In your voice, you're going to raise your intonation. You're going to say, Tu aimes la classe de français? Tu aimes la classe de français? It's as simple as that. Now, if I don't choose intonation to sound like this, Tu aimes la classe de français? You like the French class. Versus, Tu aimes la classe de français? Now it's a question. Okay? And you push the question mark to make it a question. You live in Bordeaux, that's a statement. To make a question, you say, Tu habites à Bordeaux? Tu habites à Bordeaux? So it would sound like, again, intonation is raising. Okay, let's make it more formal here. I'm going to erase. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to erase this and I can't find the eraser. Let me just do it like that. Okay. So, you live in Bordeaux. The question would be, vous habitez à Bordeaux. Vous habitez à Bordeaux. And that's how you would make the question. Vous habitez à Bordeaux. So you raise your intonation. Vous habitez à Bordeaux? And you put a question mark. So this is one way. So intonation is one way to make a question. The second way to make a question is you're going to use est-ce que. Okay. The third way is to place a tag question at the end of a statement. This could be informal or formal. Okay. So an example for that is, and I wish I could clean this thing in here. Oops, that's not it. having fun with this. Okay, so a tag. A tag is an expression such as d'accord. So we're starting at 2 o'clock, okay? That's my tag. That's my tag. It's like confirming, okay? We eat at noon, don't we? N'est-ce pas? That's your tag. This is called a tag. Nous mangeons à midi, n'est-ce pas? So that's the third way you can make a question. So the first way is to just use intonation. Tu parles français? Second way is to use est-ce que. Est-ce que tu parles français? The third way is to place a tag. Tu parles français, n'est-ce pas? Okay. D'accord? So that's these are tags. The fourth method is, and that's the most complicated one I think, is to add it's called an inversion. Okay. Let me scoop up. A fourth way is to invert the order of the subject pronoun and the verb and hyphen them. If the verb ends in a vowel and the subject is il or elle, you must put a T hyphen is inserted between the verb and the pronoun. Okay, this is more of a formal expression. For example, do you speak French? Okay, so do you speak French? So what you need to think about in here, you speak French. Tu parles français, right? Tu parles français. You're going to invert the pronoun and the verb. Invert the pronoun and the verb. Here you go. I'll use the formal. Parlez hyphen. Parlez-vous français? So I see how I invert the verb and the pronoun and I put a hyphen between them. Parlez-vous français? It comes from vous parlez français, but you're inverting the verb and the pronoun in here. And that's how you can make a fourth question in here. Does he eat at noon? Okay. Does he eat at noon? Okay. So what's to eat? It is mange-t-il? Mange hyphen t hyphen il. Mange-t-il à midi? Midi means noon, right? Notice I have to put a T in here because that ends with a vowel sound and this is a vowel sound. So I insert and it sounds like this. Mange-t-il à midi? Remember he said if the verb ends in a vowel and the subject pronoun is il or elle, hyphen T is inserted between the verb and the pronoun, just like in here. Last example. Is she a student? Okay, so is she a student? So this is the verb to be, right? Est-elle? Est-elle? So elle is inverted. You put the verb first and then you put the pronoun. Est-elle élève? Question mark. Est-elle élève would be the way you would make a question in this case. Okay? I'm going to stop right now for these questions. There's more to do, but